Okay, here we go. Stop now. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty, but I am done now. Hey, those of you guys who have missed a couple days now, you gotta try to focus. Listen to the videos. All right, pay close attention. All right, we're gonna go down. We're gonna do the evens. I did the odds with the other class, so all of the odds are now done. So tonight you should be able to go through quickly and do the odds. All right. Right now, I'm going to focus on the evens. So here we go. We left off here. So 32. Again, what is common? So let's pull out an x, and you're left with
x squared plus x minus 2.
beautiful. And now we are factoring again. Everybody happy with that? All right, but before, listen, I go any further, I forgot to ask you. Did anybody try to do some of the evens yesterday and say, well, I wasn't sure? All right. Is everybody, no, you're not, listen, I don't want any explanation. All I want to know is, yeah, I went back and I tried 18 and I couldn't do 18. Show me again. That's all I'm asking. If you're having a problem with the evens 1 through 32, speak up now. I can repeat that.
So I watched the video
I just want to know what problem.
Okay. It's not necessarily a problem.
Nope, then can't discuss anything. 26, here we go. So look here now. All right, we'll start over with 26. Here we go. Now, you recognize factoring by grouping because there's going to be how many terms? 4 terms. So all you're doing is you're grouping them here, 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 and here. Now this one is particularly hard because some kids don't recognize that you're factoring out a -1. That's the mistake most kids make. Right now, you're factoring out an x squared. You're left with x minus 4. Factor out a -1. The signs change when you factor out a negative. Now what's common? An x minus 4. So I pull out the x minus 4, and x squared minus 1 is left behind. However, we now can factor x squared minus 1. So that factors into beautiful. X minus 4 times x minus 1 times x plus 1. Do you have any questions or concerns with that now? Did that help at all? Hello? All right, sorry for the delay. Okay, so let's continue on unless someone has something else they want to add. Nobody? Good. All right, here we go. Let's check out 34 now. 34 is an interesting problem. Put a little star by it. Very nice problem. All right, x to the 4th. We're trying to figure out the factors of 100 that make 24. I'm sorry, the factors of 100 that make 29. So it'd be x squared, x squared. Anybody have an issue with that? Right?
Oh, no. It's just the first thing. Yeah.
Now you can factor each of those. So now this is x plus 5, x minus 5, x plus 2, x minus 2. What? All right, let me see if you understand this. That's 25x squared, right? I'm trying to help you. Negative 25 and negative 4 makes negative 29. Does that help you? So you're good. Okay, yes, sir. Well, I'm not there yet. All right. Okay, so here we go with question number 36. What is common with 36? An x. Very good. X cubed.
Oh, no, you just read it. Y squared plus 14y plus 49.
Again, you don't get penalized if you don't write it as y plus 7 squared, but on most standardized tests, they would have that as the choice, y plus 7 squared. All right, does anybody have any questions with that? Any questions? All right, here we go. Let's check out 38 now.
Ooh, fancy.
All right. Oh, God, girls. I want you to go inside and listen to the video. All right, now on here, f minus what? Okay, good. What I want you to do right now is I want you to look at f minus d and d minus f. That's the key. They're not the same. They're off by a factor of -1. So, what do I have to do? Well, actually, that's not a bad thought, but technically we say we're going to pull out a negative. And when I pull out the negative, that makes this a what? Positive. And then this is a negative, and that's a positive. If you distribute it, it's okay, too. It doesn't, but I've never heard really anybody say you distribute the negative. All right? You're actually factoring out a negative. Now that you see the signs are changed, I want you to rewrite it as z times f minus d plus y times f minus d. And now what's common?
F minus D.
So now you have an f minus d times z plus y. Any objections to that? Any objections? Everybody pretty happy with that? All right, let's try the next one.
Isn't the next one factored by grouping?
Factoring by grouping because we have 4 terms. You're pulling out an x squared. And now, again, remember, whatever the leading coefficient is, that's what you factor out. So you're factoring out a -5. All right? You're pulling out a -5, which leaves you with x plus 2. And now you're pulling out x plus 2. Now, that's a good thought, but 5 is not a perfect square. 5 is not a perfect square, so you cannot factor that any other way. That's the final answer. If it was a 9 or a 16 or a 25, you would be in good shape to factor that. Everybody with me? But right now we can't go any further than that. All right? Yes, ma'am.
Why is the second x plus 2? Why is that?
Okay, watch. Very, very important. If I go -5 times x, I get what? And if I go -5 times +2, I get a, you with me? Right? If I leave it negative, that would make it +10. All right. Now, on the test, whatever, I'm not really going to tell you how to factor. You're just going to have to know all of it. Right? Is there a greatest common factor here?
No.
No. So now it's just back to the old school, where you're just doing 2 sets of parentheses. All right? The middle factors are what? I would try 3x and 2x. And the middle factors of 12 are 4 and 3, and the 4 would go on the left, and 3 would go on the... I'm not saying that's correct. I'm just saying from experience that's a good way. Now you make your smiley face 8 and what? 9, which makes, if they are both, there you go, guys. All right, here we go. Anything common with 44? No, so it's just straight factoring. 5x, 2x. Now the 2 has to go where? The 2 has to go on the left. So what do I have here? Wow, 5 and 4. Does that work? That doesn't work. So is there any other way I can do the 2 and the 1?
Yeah, 10 and 1.
All right, so instead we're going to go ahead and instead of that, we're going to go 10x and x.
And the 10 has to go on the...
And the 2 has to go on the... 2 has to go on the... And 1 has to go there. Uh-oh. So that doesn't work. So we've siphoned through all of the possibilities. And it does not factor. If something says, or if something can't or doesn't have any factors, it is considered what?
No.
That's correct. It's considered prime. All right? Yes, you actually can tell. Let me try to explain. That's a very good question. All right, so listen to me now. If you want to know if it's prime or not, here's the rule. You always multiply the first times the last. What's 10 times -2?
-20.
So that would be -20. Those factors have to add up to what? 7. Are there any factors of 20 that make 7? So it's considered prime. Listen to me. You can save yourself a lot of time if you can do that. To figure out if it's can factor, you can always multiply the first times the last. But generally, if you get good at it, you can just siphon through the factors real quick and you can see whether it's prime or not. All right, you with me on this? All right. So the rule is multiply the first times the last, and those factors have to equal the middle term. And in this case, there are no factors of 20 that are 7. That's how I know it's prime. All right. Here we go on number 46. All right. Again, basic problem here. Now let me give you an example here. I know it watch, look up here, guys. This is a good technique. 15 times 6 is -90, and I want it to be a +1. Therefore, I know it can factor because the factors of 90 are 10 and 9. Everybody with me? You with me? So now, watch the pattern. Inside our parentheses, it'll have to be 10 and 9. All right, so the only factors, or for 15, I'm going to put what? 5x and 3x, and then 3 and 2, and you'll see what I'm saying. 9 and 10. And I want it to be positive, so this is positive and that's negative. Now, normally, like I said, I don't really care about that because you should be able to go through the factors quickly in order to make it work or not work. Is anybody hearing what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Right? But that's a kind of a good technique to kind of recall whether or not, you know, if you're having trouble, you can kind of remember that. All right? Now, is there anything common with 48? So let's pull out a 3. Uh-oh. That should be an X, guys. The A should be an X.
Oh, okay. That's what I was like, what?
Come on, guys. I can figure that out. Change that. Plus what? Plus 10. Now, are there any factors of 10 that make 12? Come on, guys. What? Come on, Walker. What? What are the factors of 10 that make 12? Go ahead. I want to hear it. Shh. Thank you. So that is the what? No, that's the answer.
Oh. That's the prime. Okay. That is the prime.
We factored out a common X. We factored out a common X. All right. So number 51. Let's take a look at this. Nothing in common, correct? So it should be pretty easy. X minus 9y, X plus 7y.
6.
Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
All right, now this one's already started for us. Yeah, we already factored it once.
So it's already X plus 9 times minus 3.
We did.
But wait, there's more. No, there is kidding.
Okay. Same principle, 54. What do we got?
Oh, we need to for the next one factor out the
Exactly. Change the sign.
Negative.
factor out the negative to change the sign. So it would be 3x times x minus plus 2 times negative. Yes, I got that.
And then?
And then it's x minus f times 3x plus 2.
Anybody have any questions? All right, 58.
This is just a normal one.
Factoring out a what?
2.
Nope.
4.
Factoring out a 4 first.
Oh, and then you can do the thing because the 9 is perfect square.
Oh. We still have to say
All right. All right, 60 is a nice little problem. Here. Good job. Now, those are both not perfect squares, but difference of squares. So it would be what?
x squared minus 1, then x minus 3, and then x plus. Oh, I see what he means.
There you go. Correct. X plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 3, x minus 3. Anybody have any issues with that? Any issues? All right. What's common in 62?
X squared. No, y squared.
And now at this stage of the game, that should have been just as basic as it can get.
Pretty much.
Anybody have any issues? Math, that is. Anybody have any questions with that? Okay, so now I feel really good about today's lesson. We got through all the evens rather quickly. Again, I'm saying go back, review. All right, now your job tonight is to do all of the what? And I will be looking at it tomorrow. All right, if you're not sure what's going on, you can check the videos. If you have a problem or you get stumped or something, check the video. All right. Get busy, get busy, get busy. I don't care.